Georgia destroys Tennessee 41-0. And I've been covering this game for a long time, and I can think of some times Georgia really laid the wood to the Vols. And this is as bad as it got. The ESPN2 game in 2003 when Sean Jones took the ball back about 100 yards to really crush Tennessee. Even this was worse than that. I mean, there was a lot that just did not go Tennessee's way. They're in real trouble. I didn't think they, earlier this week I said I don't see how Tennessee's offense scores more than 10 points on the Dawgs. They didn't even score a touch. They didn't do anything. I think when this Georgia defense talks to Janet Jackson, it calls her Miss Jackson because they are nasty. And if you're not from the 80s, you don't know what that means. But 142 yards, 142 yards, is pitiful. This is as bad a Tennessee offense as I've seen in a while, going up against one of the best defenses in the country. This team is legit. This team is legit for sure. I think the one thing, and the elephant in the room, is you can't have passing game play like you had tonight. It just wasn't good. Georgia only wound up with 84 yards, 7 of 17 with an interception. Probably could have been 3. Jake Fromm's got to play better. He played great last week. That's great and everything, but Jacob Easton apparently is coming back sooner than well, actually, this is exactly when I reported, which was 4 to 5 weeks. This is the 5th week. Now, will he start against Vanderbilt? I don't know what they do at quarterback, but they're going to need some production in the passing game, to be sure. Now, this discussion, actually Fromm was 7 of 15, so probably his worst game of the year. But really, more than anything, you don't want to dwell on it because he really did make some some run plays. I would say he was quite good in the run game, but that's not what he is. And he didn't play well tonight. That's all there is to it. He played great last week. He didn't play well this week. I think you gotta get that passing game going. And the one beautiful, he had 2 really good balls. One was during the first quarter when they on Tennessee's sideline, he puts it right where it's got to go, and I can't remember who had the ball, but they dropped it. So that was no good. And then the Wims catch was great, but it was a good throw. And then this is the one day I thought that, the punt game wasn't the ideal thing. So this is really nitpicky, though. But I don't think the passing game is nitpicky. I mean, they're gonna have to figure some things out there. You're not gonna throw for fewer than 100 yards. You're not gonna run 300 yards on everybody. Now they're doing that against a lot of teams. They did that tonight because they got up so big. They're doing that because this defense is unbelievable. But there's gonna come a time when this offense is gonna have to pass the ball. I don't know when that's going to be. It might be against Vanderbilt. God knows it's not going to be against Missouri. Missouri's horrible. But they're going to have to develop a pass game. 7 of 15 for an interception with just some weird plays in there. That's not going to cut it. Other than that, this is the 800th win for the Dawgs in all of history. I think I went through and I've been to 18% of Georgia's games in history, something like that. I think it was between 15% and 18%, because obviously I go to a lot of games. And the thing about it is that this goes for all these other programs too, but it's almost a rhythm of life in the fall. You get into the season, it's hot, playing against South Carolina. And years gone by, you'd play South Carolina and Clemson early. And now it's just the Chickens, and then you roll into your big first test, which is typically either the Chickens or Tennessee. And the seasons start to change, and as you get older, you get more used to the rhythm of the fall, and that's South Carolina, then Tennessee, then the Gators, then Auburn, then Tech, and sometimes in there sprinkled in there you got LSU, Alabama, Notre Dame, enter the name of whoever else, Mississippi State that you might play. But it's really we've been given a gift. We live in a great country where you have the ability to support your school and really forget about things for a while. And tonight, I think Tennessee would like to forget about this for sure. I don't know about the whole Butch Jones thing. I mean, I've never been a Giant fan. I don't know if this means it's the end for him. He lost to one of the best teams in the country tonight. I mean, Georgia's going to be at least number 6. If Clemson loses, which we can't know, Clemson loses, Georgia will be a top 5 or top 4 team. So Tennessee got pummeled by a team that's way better than them, a program that's way better than them right now. Does that mean you make a switch? I don't know. I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. if Georgia wants to get where they want to go, the defense is playing fine. No problems there. The offense, it took a little time to get going. I mean, that was sketchy at times, particularly when they were throwing the ball. And, you know, as it turns out, Jake Fromm needs a little help. He was not getting, I mean, and there were times when the line wasn't protecting. Obviously, 2 sacks. We hadn't seen Georgia give up a sack in a while. Nick Chubb, man, I mean, you could tell he had thought about this game. 109 yards, just destroyed him, really. He was the backbreaker. And cold-blooded, man. And Dawgs had the ball for 10 minutes more. 9 of 16 on third down. 6 of 6 in the red zone. You know, I don't know what Kirby's selling them, but they buy it. 142 yards for Tennessee. Tennessee, this is a place where they used to score points like it was nothing when Peyton Manning was here. And they just got a talent problem, too, at particular positions. Their quarterbacks are just straight up not good. Whereas I think Georgia's a production thing, not necessarily a talent thing. Tennessee, they don't have the guys in certain spots. It's just not good right now. It's just not good right up here in Tennessee. But for Georgia, they got Vanderbilt next week, which should be slightly challenging, not anything overwhelming. They've lost now to 2 teams that are a lot better than them, or at least one team a lot better, Alabama and then the Gators. I don't know what to make of Vanderbilt. I mean, I think Georgia will win. Missouri's horrible. So you basically have the Vanderbilt game, and you have if you want to stick Easton in there, the time to do it's the Missouri game. I mean, if you want to have a quote unquote quarterback competition this week or whatever, I don't know, but whoever's playing, they got to perform, and it's got to be better than this. 84 yards. I mean, y'all, we're getting into Grayson Lambert territory in terms of production. Jake Fromm's a lot more talented, and he played. You know, when he was playing, like pulling the ball and running, that was good. Again, notice my criticism is production. It's got to be there. It's not there right now. That's the only concern right now, and that can be fixed. That can be fixed. You would think, you know, either he plays better or he's not playing. If Easton's not playing well, you stick Fromm back in there. I mean, they got choices. So that's really their burden right now is which of their 5-star quarterbacks is going to play. Tough job. I mean, tough to pick from. For Tennessee, I mean, they got some issues for sure. And where they go from here, I have no idea. But for Georgia, they will head to Nashville to play the Commodores, which I wish they could play the Volunteers again. But play the Commodores. Georgia's a good team. You know, I'm not sure where they're going to be at the end of the season, but they're certainly serving notice. Dean Legge from a quite quiet Neyland Stadium. Georgia wins its 800th game in program history. Congratulations to the Bulldogs.